Pterodactyls are otherwise known as the odd-toed ungulate. They are characterized by 3 toes and usually walk on their toes as well. They're found more in flat areas and kind of grassy lands. They first started appearing in the Eocene period. Their fossil record would have to be very diverse, and it was not discovered until the late 1900s that they were actually a taxon group. They're actually split up into 3 different families. These families include the Equidae class, which has like horses, zebras, donkeys, all that sort of thing. You can find this anywhere. Africa, North America, every country really has their own horses. Also, the Rhinoceros There's many ancestors to this group. We may know it today as the modern rhinoceros, which might go extinct sometime. Last one would have to be the Tapiridae or the tapirs. They're also known as the mountain cow. If we look at the fossils of these animals, they all are odd-boned and they all walk on their toes. Here's a comparison of an odd-toed ungulate zebra compared to an antelope. As you can see, the antelopes are split and the zebras is just one. In all the species of the Perissodactyla, the 3-digit is prominent on all the feet except for the horses. It's said to have a Mesozoic foot. The first digit, equivalent to the thumb or anything around there, is said to be absent. If we take a look at most of their skulls, it's more elongated in the front for grazing instead of the brain case getting bigger. Their teeth are more shortened down. That's so they can graze easier, and the elongated head also helps with that. Only 17 species of these odd-toed creatures live on Earth today, with many facing extinction. One extinction event that may have affected the odd-toed is the Eocene-Oligocene extinction event, to where there were volcano eruptions and meteorite strikes, and it was a massive overturn in European mammal. Most of the fossils that we find from the Eocene period today are found in North America. Here's a fossil of a horse from North America, an equus. These are actually extinct today. They were much smaller horses, and they don't really resemble the horses that we have here now. The skeleton is about 3.8 million years old. These horses started appearing in the Middle Eocene time.
Slowly and patiently dig down into the spur and hopefully expose bones for us.
Fossils were found. They were found around.
And as they find things,
rocks,
we help them out and tell them how we should handle it.
Many of these rocks are mudstone, clastic, or shale rocks. Perissodactyls evolved on the Mesozoic continent of Laurasia. They're very diverse and actually dominated the time. There were some that were even 5 meter tall and 15 to 20 tons. Here we have a photo of the modern world and the early Eocene world. You can tell that things sort of shifted over, so there may have been some European contact between the North American peninsula and European peninsula. In this Eocene period, the weather was much more humid. It was actually a global warming period where it was 8 degrees hotter Celsius, so there would be more precipitation, more plant life, more fresh water, more ocean. In the middle of the Eocene, the separation of Antarctica and Australia was created from that global warming, and it created a deep water passage, and the circulation of the oceans got changed. The new ocean circulation resulted in significantly lower annual temperature. After the Eocene and the cooling of the Earth from Antarctica and Australia splitting, there was lower water levels, so the Earth became colder, making it optimal for larger mammals to take onto the grazing, for the forests declined and more fields grew. There are also 3 extinct groups of perissodactyls. The first one would have to be the Brontotherididae. They resembled rhinos a lot, and they're actually bigger than rhinos, but they are more directly related to the horse ancestor. They have horizontal horns instead of vertical horns on their face. Secondly, we have the Cholicotheres here. They grew to about the size of horses. They kind of had claws on their front hands. It was believed that they dig up like roots and different trees and sorts of things like that with them. They walked on their mostly back feet, but they used their front feet kind of like an ape or so. The third would be the Insectolophids. They're a much smaller mammal, mostly just grazed around the grasslands, kind of like a miniature horse or something like that, but not exactly a pony or anything. Other reasons why some of the odd-toed ungulates aren't here today is because of the heating period after the Eocene era. There was not enough vegetation or anything to sustain those very large creatures. And then I believe the Equus quagga, which is a horse, became extinct in 1883 during a hunting and habitat loss too. Here's a map that shows where the odd-toed ungulates species are today. With the darker blue that comes, that is where more of the differentiation of species is. So if you notice Africa, that's where rhinos, zebra, all those other types of animals are. If you think of perissodactyls today, you don't really think of horses or donkeys because they're domesticated and they're the only ones that are really still populated. The rhinoceroses are losing because of bounty hunters, so they will be extinct pretty soon here unless we do something about it. And the tapirs cannot survive off the new global environment that global warming is bringing. This was my video presentation of the perissodactyl family class. Thank you.